Cummings, and I'm from Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles, for me, as I always tell people, is that I grew up in LA, I did not grow up in Hollywood, because based upon sort of how I carry myself in the industry, people are like, well, of course you're like that, you don't care because you grew up in LA. I'm the Associate Director of Talent and Influencer Marketing. But what it means is that I am the liaison, I am the face between, the talent, the influencers that we use, and our clients and our activations. I've never really sought out this career. I literally went to a party once and I ran into a girl who I went to high school with. She worked at Motown. And she was like, I need an intern. Would you be my intern? And I was like, sure, what's an intern? So I started working for her, and I sort of just found my way the rest of the way. It was so iconic, and I can remember just being a fan of the music and then going in there and like, how can I possibly be inside this building where, at that time it was Boyz II Men, Another Bad Creation, MC Brains, they were all hot, but like, how could I be in this building of this business that came and gave me the Jacksons? Like that didn't even make sense, like the Diana Ross and Stevie Wonders of the world. But I really enjoyed the era of Motown that I was a part of because it was new, it was fresh, but it still had many of the same elements as what they had sort of put in place before, like the artist development of it all. And that's before, we were building people that were actually brands. But it was such an amazing experience. It has probably been by far my favorite job ever. What am I great at? I've got this weird sense of intuition, kind of knowing when people sort of need you to reach out. It has historically always been a thing, and I'm not sure what that really means, but I just sort of hit people at the right time. Daune is loyal, which sometimes is painful. Daune is happy. Daune is completely nuts. Like, I laugh a lot, but I'm probably certifiable if you ask some people. But no, I just want to have a good time, and I just want the people around me to be happy. The impact I've had on my community is probably less than I'd care to admit. I've done some cool stuff with, something that we did through my job, giving poets a larger platform. I participated in something called Declare Yourself years ago, which I'm not political by any sense of the imagination, but it was something that actually made me feel good to be part of the process and helping 18-year-olds understand why it was important for them to get out and vote, registering people to vote. So those two things, unfortunately, they are part of Hollywood, but those have been probably the biggest ways I've had some sort of impact in my community. I think I've affected people's lives from the standpoint of allowing and encouraging them to just be who they are. Just do you, and that's my thing. I hope that I encourage people to just be them. Like, if there's never a safe place, you can hit me. I have, people that are afraid to be vulnerable, people that are like, I'm an introvert, I'm this. That's cool, do you, but when you're ready to talk, like, I'm here. I always tell people, I got ears, I got 2 ears. I may not have anything else to offer you, but I can listen. My relationship with poetry. Whew. Most of the poets that we've worked with that know me know that initially I hated poetry. I didn't get it. I thought it was granola. I felt like if I didn't have Birkenstocks and dreadlocks and I didn't walk around snapping my fingers that, it wasn't for me. And the moment that I sat on that set the first year that we did Verses and Flow, and those poets just shared, like, I'd read the poems, but they shared poetry and they were so vulnerable. I think I gave, I don't want to say I gave them a voice because that's not what I mean. We gave them a stage, gave them an opportunity to share something that they were already sharing in their community, they were already sharing online, but to legitimately give them a place where more people could hear them and more people could be affected and more people could be impacted by. The feedback from the poetry community has been, first of all, for me personally, it's been great. I got the "you were very special to us, thank you for always making us feel special." And it was something that I made certain that I did when I spoke to each one, that happened on set. And that's the biggest response that I've gotten back from everybody, is really just loads of thank yous. I think what makes me a badass, if that's the term we're using, is my work ethic. I enjoy where I've worked since I was 11. I hope no one gets arrested for that. But I don't know anything but to work. And I think the fact that I just get stuff done is probably the closest thing to making me a badass. Because as I mentioned, I've never been trained for anything I've done. I don't know that I could pick one person and say they're my role model, because I think there are so many dope people in the world and in my personal world and my universe. But I know some amazing women who, no matter what knocks them down, they get up every day. They deal with, you know, the judgment, the disrespect, but every day they put on their big girl panties and they go out into the world and they just get it done. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people I respect. So I could never identify one role model right now. It's a lot of amazing people and that I'm fortunate enough to call friends. I didn't grow up in a household where the lights went out. My parents never lied to me. They didn't argue. That was the dope part. Like, my dad's thing would always be, we'll see. If I said, oh, Dad, can I do this? We'll see about it. He would never say no, but he would never lie and say yes and not do it. And I think that's the dopest thing about who I am, is my parents. For someone following my footsteps, I would say network and be kind to people. And I think as long as you remain humble, which at this point sounds so cliche because everyone says it, but you legitimately have to. You have to recognize that everybody's the same. We're all the same. We're all just trying to figure it out. At the end of the day, you just gotta be a good person, because you gotta give out what you want to get back. I am a complete work in progress. But that's the fun part, because every day you get to wake up and start over, and you get to reinvent yourself.
Oh,